Oh,
Is it on?
yours is on.
Mine is on. You're welcome.
Check, check. Ooh, hot mic. Check. Good morning, friends. Happy Earth Day on this beautiful, or day before Earth Day on this beautiful, beautiful sunny spring day. We're going to sing some hymns for you this morning for gathering music that are some of our favorites, I think, and just talk about our caring for the earth and the environment. So we're going to start with number 30 in More Voices. It's a song of praise to the Maker. It's a song of praise to the Maker. The thrush sings high in the tree. It's a song of praise to the Maker. The gray whale sings in the sea. And by the Spirit, you and I can join our voice to the holy and sing, sing, sing to the Maker too. It's a call of life to the Giver when waves and waterfalls roar. It's a call of life to the Giver when high tides break on the shore. And by the Spirit, you and I can join our voice to the holy cry and sing, sing, sing to the Maker too. It's a hymn of love to the lover. The bumblebees all along. It's a hymn of love to the lover. The summer breeze joins the song, and by the Spirit, you and I can join our voice to the holy cry and sing, sing, sing to the Maker It's a chorus of all creation. It's sung by all living things. It's the chorus of all creation, a song the universe sings. And by the Spirit, you and I can join our voice to the holy cry and sing, sing, sing to the Maker too. Thank you. We're going to sing one that's a little older. God who gives to life its goodness. 260 in Voices United.
Chris played in the wrong key for Bernie.
Yeah, I just the cable on.
Oh dear.
We just got right into
Oh
it.
well. We don't want to pick too soon.
All right.
Oh Jesus. We just starting in or
Is that right?
Yeah.
called by earth and sky. A call to live with respect in creation, celebrating the ancient tradition of the four elements. Number 135 in More Voices. Is the monitor on? I think so. I'm hearing all by earth and sky, promise of hope held high. This is our sacred living trust, treasure of life sanctified. All by earth and sky, precious these waters, endless trees, deep oceans free, water of healing, rivers of flame, our captive love again. All by earth and sky, promise of hope held high. This is our sacred living trust, treasure of life sanctified. All by earth and sky, precious this gift, the air we breathe, wind born and free, breath of the Spirit, earth is praise, our gathering and our grace. All by earth and sky, promise of hope held high. This is our sacred living trust, treasure of life sanctified. All by earth and sky, precious these mountains, ancient sands, last fragile land, seeds of our waking, rooted and strong, creation's faithful song. All by earth and sky, promise of hope held high. This is our sacred living trust, treasure of life sanctified. All by earth and sky, precious the fire that lights our way, bright dawning day, fire of passion, sorrows undone, our faith and justice won. All by earth and sky, promise of hope held high. This is our sacred living trust, treasure of life sanctified. All by earth and sky, all by earth and One more for you, spirit of gentleness.
Oldie but a goodie.
An oldie but a goodie. 375 in Voices United.
Your 2 seconds.
Spirit, spirit of gentleness, go through the wilderness, calling and free. Spirit,
Welcome, welcome, my kin, to this celebration of faith and spirituality on this Earth Sunday. As we enter into this sacred space and time together, I invite you to put away the pressures of the world that ask us to mask our true identities, to perform, to put on brave fronts. Silence the voices in you that suggest that you are not enough. This is a community of compassion and welcoming. This is an affirming and holy and sacred place for you to be yourself fully as God's child. Let us take a deep breath in and let it out. And in and out. And in and out. Today we continue our series, A Place to Call Home. And the psalmist reminds us that we discover the goodness of God's presence in nature. When we care for the earth, we know that we care for ourselves. Jesus crossed many divides. The psalmist uses the language of, in the presence of my enemies. Jesus did this empowered by the time that he spent in the wilderness, in nature. That much is very clear in the Gospels. The psalmist and the rabbi understand that we all need places of renewal and restoration. So today we ask, how will we create a home as we seek to heal the earth and ourselves? How will we create a true home as we seek to heal the earth and ourselves? Let's join in our theme song for this series, There is Room for All. And let's remain seated as we join in song. There's room for all in the shadow of God's wing. There is room for all sheltered in God's love. And I rejoice and sing my refuge and my rock in whom I trust. There is room for all. There is room for all.
We light this candle for the land, sea, and sky.
We remember the richness of planet Earth.
Oh,
Mountains unfolding to desert and plain, seas swaying to the rhythm of tides, skies reflecting the colors of light.
We light this candle for the creatures of the earth.
We remember creatures of land, air, and sea.
Horses running for the joy of living, parrots chatting on roofs and branches, dolphins leaping from sea to sky.
We light this candle for the fruits of the earth.
We remember fruits of the land.
Grasses bursting with nourishing grain, flowers exuding color and fragrance, trees renewing the sweetness of air.
We light this candle for humanity.
We remember all sages and prophets.
Through them recalling the power of love, through them reclaiming a spirit of compassion, through them embracing earth and each other. My kin, sing out the happiness of this morning. Celebrate the blazing sun and spinning earth. Think upon love, that it may grow with us, and compassion, that it may call us to service. Let us join in song, praise the Mother, and let us rise in body and spirit as we sing. All right, we need to try that again. So, in the PowerPoint, do we have a copy of the bulletin here? It's just like in the bulletin. Okay. So praise the Mother, praise the Lord of all and the source of you, praise the rivers ever flowing through to the ocean of who we are. Hey, Mama. Then back to praise the Mother, then hey, Mama. It's probably different than, is it different than your sheet music? Sorry about that. Take two. Sometimes that's all it takes. Okay, remain standing because we're going to pass the peace in just a moment, all right? After we hear these words from the psalmist, a blessed relief. James Taylor writes, after a day of chasing through shopping malls, Psalm 23 took on a new significance for me. God keeps a cool cafe What more could I ask? She provides a comfortable chair to take the weight off my weary feet. She puts an umbrella to shade me from the sun. She serves me iced tea. Though I have battled with the crowds at the bargain counters, though I have suffered the scent of too many sweaty bodies, I don't care. I know what's waiting for me at the end of the day. An ice cream cone. It drips all over the edges, and I lick it up gratefully. I close my eyes. The sound system plays gentle chuckles of waves lapping on the shore. I am content. I would love to sit here forever in God's cool cafe. My kin, as we are renewed and restored within the earth, our home, may the peace of the risen Christ be with you. Let us share signs of peace with one another. All right. It is peace. It is time for our Spirit Kids Club theme time. So come on up, children of all ages. And Tara, come on up here. We don't want to leave Tara sitting by himself back there. Deborah Murray, I think we're going to need you in a minute, so come on up here. Deb Murray. Oh, Deb Murray. Come on up here. Mason. I said Murray, didn't I? Mason. Do I do that every time? I hope not. Okay, have a seat right there. Yeah, because we're going to need your Zumba skills in a minute. All right. Did we get everybody? All right. Hey, welcome. How many of you participated in the Spirit Kids Club garden the past couple of years? Jillian? Yeah? Jaden and Chase, did you go? Kieran, did you go out to the garden? You haven't done that yet. All right. Well, we are getting ready for a new season of the Spirit Kids Club garden, and we are thinking about what we want to grow, and we're thinking about what we might want to donate or sell or preserve in the fall. And so we're going to be thinking about that over the next couple of weeks in Spirit Kids Club, and Madeline's going to come on an upcoming Sunday and do some work with you around that. So I know that we're pretty familiar with how a seed becomes a plant, but I thought just as we're getting really excited, are some of you already planting starters at home? A few out there? And you have some going at school? Oh, you planted a tree. Nice, in the schoolyard. Sweet. I know that New Era, I think, has had maybe some gardens in the past, and then they served some of that food in the cafeteria. So lots of folks are getting excited. I know we've got it. When I walk into my house, it smells like earth. It smells like soil because we have tomatoes going and cucumbers and all kinds of good stuff getting ready once it warms up a little bit more to put them outside. But let's watch this pretty brief video about how a seed becomes a plant, because I think it's a pretty amazing miracle.
Oh, hey guys, Squeaks and I are checking out our plants and they look great. It's almost hard to believe that these beautiful flowers and plants came from the teeny tiny seeds we put in the pots just a few weeks ago. You might be familiar with the little packets of seeds that you use to grow flowers or vegetables in your garden, or maybe the sunflower seeds that you find in your snack mix. But did you know that popcorn kernels, beans, peas, acorns, and rice are also seeds? Well, one of our friends, 5-year-old Dimitri, wrote in to ask us, how does a seed grow into a plant? Thanks for asking, Dimitri. First of all, seeds come in lots of different shapes and sizes, but they're all made of 3 parts. An outer shell called the seed coat, a tiny baby plant that's inside the seed called the embryo, and some plant food for the embryo called endosperm. The seed coat has an important job. It covers the entire seed, protecting the little baby plant inside and keeping it from drying out. The seed coat also has super sensing powers. It has special chemicals in it that can tell when the seed is in the right place to start growing. For example, the sunflower seeds and the pumpkin seeds in your trail mix sense that it's not safe to grow. After all, seeds can't grow when they're surrounded by raisins and chocolate chips. So while the seeds are in a bag or in your hands, it's like they're asleep. The seeds are still alive, but they're dormant or inactive. Some seeds can stay like this for hundreds or even thousands of years. Great question, Squeaks. To get started, every seed needs water, the right temperature, and the right amount of light. Once the seed has these 3 things, like when it's planted in some nice wet soil, the embryo, or baby plant, gets the signal to start growing. For plants, this growing process is called germination. First, the seed coat lets some water through to the embryo, but the embryo needs more than just water if it's going to grow. Good thing, there's a whole bunch of plant food right there inside the seed. Until the plant can make its own food from sunlight, which it will need leaves to do, it relies on the endosperm for energy. It's like the little baby plant has its own backpack of snacks. So the embryo keeps growing and taking in more water until the seed coat cracks open and the embryo kicks out a kind of a foot. But not at all like my foot. The first part of the plant to come out of the seed is the root. The root always grows downward, no matter what way the seed is planted. A seed can actually tell which way is up and which way is down. So the root pushes down deeper and deeper into the soil, looking for more water and minerals to feed the baby plant. Once the plant is all grown up, those deep roots will have another job. They'll help keep the plant from falling over or blowing away in the wind. But soon after the first baby root finds its way into the dirt, another part of the seed pops out, this time in the opposite direction. A shoot, which has the stem of the plant and a few leaves, pushes its way up towards the sunlight. Once the shoot breaks through the soil to the open air above, we say that it's sprouted. Now the plant doesn't need the endosperm anymore because it can make its own food from sunlight. With enough water and sunlight and the right temperature, the young plant will continue to grow, getting bigger and growing more leaves until it's an adult plant and it can produce seeds of its own. Next time you're about to chow down on a handful of sunflower seeds, just think, it's like you've got a whole field of flowers right in your hand. Thanks to our friend Dimitri for asking this great question. And if any of you have a question for any of us here at the fort, let us know by leaving a comment or emailing us at kids@thescishow.com. See you next time, guys.
So, what kind of beans do you think they grow at the sci-fi show? Coffee beans, I think. Espresso beans. That video editor had us going pretty quick through the miracle of growing seeds in our gardens. Well, as we think about that miracle, what do you think are some of the benefits, the good things that come out of us growing our own food right here at our own homes and community gardens? Because, I mean, we can just go down to Superstore or Co-op or Safeway and just buy stuff down there, right?
We don't have to spend $100 on food.
Okay, so we might not have to spend quite as much money if we grow our own garden. What are some of the other benefits?
You gain money from selling stuff.
There's beauty, right? It looks pretty, yeah. And some people really like to, some people just do traditional rows in their gardens, and other people make designs and patterns. People make bean trees and all kinds of cool things. Kieran?
You can sell
you could make some money, and we see people that, so you could buy more seeds. Yeah. The cycle of life and the cycle of money, I guess, we're thinking about this morning. We have young entrepreneurs ready to go to the farmer's market. Have you been to the farmer's market in Brandon and seen all the cool stuff that they have? It's pretty neat. What are some of the other benefits? We get to decide what goes into our garden, right? We know what goes into the food, right? We know if there's pesticides, poisons that kill insects. We know if there's poisons that kill weeds. It saves transportation costs, right? Because we do it right here in our community. Making a garden teaches us some good things. It teaches us patience. It teaches us adaptability, because sometimes we don't get enough rain in the summer, or maybe we get too little heat or too much heat. So we have to adapt. We have to figure out how to do things. Sometimes we have to provide more water for our plants, or more shade, or we use more compost to protect them. You're going to go fan your plant? I want some pictures of that at Spirit Kids Club Garden this summer. All kinds of great things. So as we think about starting our Spirit Kids Club Garden again, think about what you'd like to plant. Think about some of the things you'd like to eat in the summer or in the fall from the garden. I don't even buy tomatoes in the grocery store anymore, because they just don't taste like a garden tomato to me. They have a whole different flavor because they've been mass produced. So think about what you want to eat from your garden. Think about what might be fun to share with your neighbors, and what might be nice. I think we're going to maybe do soup making in September again, like we did a couple of years ago. All right? So keep all of that in mind. And what an amazing miracle this is, that we can grow our own food and be healthy in that way, and be a healthy community in many ways. So during the season of Easter, we introduced you to a new song. Well, you practiced it in Spirit Kids last week, but a new song called Movin' Me. And I thought Deb could help us with some of the dance moves, and Tara could help us, because Tara's been using this in Spirit Kids Club, all right? So we're thinking about not just about how plants grow, but about how we grow and how we move as we are open to God's Spirit working in us and through us. All right, let's rise in body and spirit and join in our Spirit Kids Club theme song for this season, Move in Me.
I was lost and could not see. I was searching, you found me. Your love opened my eyes. My heart forever changed. No more standing still, no more going back. Oh, your love is moving me. I came alive when you found me. I'll never be the same. Oh, I shouted out to everyone around me. I am forever changed. Your love is moving me, yeah. Moving me, yeah. Moving me, yeah.
Well done. All right, that was pretty good for week 2. We wore you out. You're already on your way to Spirit Kids Club.
A reading from John 10, 11 to 18 from the inclusive text. Jesus said, "I am the good shepherd. Good shepherds lay down their lives for their sheep. The hirelings, since they are not the shepherds, and the sheep do not belong to them, abandon the sheep and run away as soon as they see a wolf coming. And then the wolf attacks and scatters the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me, just as God who sent me knows me, and I know God. And I lay down my life for the sheep. There are other sheep I have that are not of this fold, and these I have to lead as well. They, too, will listen to my voice, and there will be only one flock and one shepherd. God loves me because I lay down my life in order to take it up again. No one takes it from me. I lay it down of my own free will, and as it is in my power to take it up again. And this is the command I have been given by the one who sent me."
All right, I'm going to invite Quentin and Madeline Robinson to come on up. And she always beats you to it. Oh, right. So red and blue, Rob. All right. Well, welcome to the Knox Connection.
Thanks for inviting us here.
So on this Earth Sunday, I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about Sustainable Brandon, which is a fairly new initiative. And if people have been paying close attention to the notes from the council or the email news, they might have some idea about it, but I think because it's fairly new, a lot of people are not all that aware. So I wanted to take some time for you to tell us how it came about. The two of you were really instrumental in that. And just tell us a little bit about how Sustainable Brandon came about.
Okay, well, it started actually with Debbie Dandy, who is our Kairos connector. And Kairos had an initiative called For the Love of Creation, which hopefully you've heard a lot about. But that one of the things that they were doing with For the Love of Creation was encouraging people to have climate conversations. So there were 3 climate conversations. The first one was, what is climate change? The second one was, what can you individually do about it? And the third one was, what can we as a community do about this? And Debbie said, I really think we should do these, and I think, the green team should do that. And of course, I said, absolutely, because I knew that this was where my passion lies. And so we started planning for that, and of course the pandemic hit, so then they became Zoom conversations. So we had 2 different, the first 2 conversations, we had a couple of each with different people, and we talked about the climate crisis and all of that good stuff. But the third one was, what can you as a community do about it? And I didn't want to do that over Zoom. It just felt too important to not have face-to-face real conversation. So it wasn't until November of 2021 when we were able to have our in-person, and I think we had 16 people there to talk about this. And when I first envisioned this particular conversation, I thought, we'll come up with one thing that we can do. And so, I kept trying to steer the group to one thing. What, will it be transportation? Will it be energy? What one thing? And they just wouldn't have it. They said, no, this is too big. We have to do it all. So we decided that we would create a group that would encourage Brandon to become more sustainable.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit about the connection with Manitoba Climate Action and how that came about in those early, that first year or so.
Right. So that was actually one of the very first projects we did. We thought, well, we need to find out if there are more people who are interested and concerned and wanting to do something. So we should have this workshop. And this was probably the biggest advantage of trying to pull people from beyond my own circle. And there was a person there who had an actual connection with the Manitoba Climate Action team. I had been trying to email them to get us a workshop, and they never responded. But when Lonnie said, hey, we should do this, they all said, yeah, we'll go out to Brandon. So they came out to Knox, and we had a really fabulous workshop talking about the Manitoba Road to Resilience and what we can do as a province to help fight the climate crisis. And so that do you want me to go into more there?
I was just going to say, I think it's there that first saw the signs that that really there was appetite in the community for that, because I think that night there were over 100 people involved. It was, we get kind of used to sometimes, advertising a meeting and maybe have, if things go well, 20 or 25 people show up for things to do with environment, but here were over 100 people involved.
And the other
across
good
the
part was
community.
that, they were throughout the community.
Yeah.
There were city officials, there were different nonprofit people, there were, and just all of us. And so that was really good to be beyond the Knox community, yeah.
We met here in the sanctuary, but we also had folks online, as I recall.
Right. Yes.
It was an intergenerational group, a somewhat culturally diverse group. It was really exciting.
Encouraging to think know that we were on the right path at that point.
Right, and we were one of the first, they distinguished between settler communities that are doing this work and indigenous communities. I think not long after that, or was it just before that, they met with Sioux Valley, Dakota Nation. And you could just feel I remember you could just feel the energy at that meeting, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then as breaking up into working groups. And so what happened after that meeting?
Well, after that meeting, that really probably has been the main focus of Sustainable Brandon. Up until that point, we didn't really know how to go about doing things, but they gave us a $50,000 grant. It was the Climate Action Team and Environment and Climate Change Canada had come up with a grant for a settler community. We were one of the 2 settler communities chosen, a $50,000 grant to do something within our community to help with climate. And so we then had to put together a committee, a working group, and we learned so much in that process. It took us 10 months to come up with what were some of the possibilities, where were some of the gaps, who could we partner with? Because for all, when we first heard one, $50,000, wow. But of course, that doesn't buy much. That doesn't get you much. So we knew we had to have a partner. And so we were fortunate enough that the Riverbank Discovery Center said, we would love to partner with you because we have this dream of solar panels on the Riverbank Discovery Center, but the cost is more than we can justify. But with your money and our money, we could do it. So that's what is happening with that $50,000 grant. You want to talk about the other one?
Yeah, and then there was a smaller grant for what's called the Green Audit Project. And once again, we looked in the community because it's Sustainable Brandon, as well as being interested in environmental issues, is interested in what's often called the just transition. So we were looking for partnership, and we chose the Brandon Friendship Center, trying to be inclusive and make sure that folks who are marginalized and organizations that represent them are included in this. So we did an audit of their green audit of their main building, and the people in the group learned about how to do green audit. And then as a result of that, there was a small available, about $7,500, that could have hello? Oh, yeah.
Kind of goes in and out.
Could have gone towards helping with building upgrades there, but as it turned out in the ongoing conversation, they were lucky to come up with funds for all the things that they were needing in other places. So we had to scramble in the end, and luckily we'd made connections with Bike Brandon before that, and folks within the group knew that the city and school division were
interested
in trying to increase active transportation. And so we ended up buying bicycle racks to help with that are going to be distributed from the City Parks Department and from the Brandon School Division.
Nice. So I remember after that first summer, and when the news about the grant came out, and just, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? And then very quickly things moved along. And I really appreciated, though I wasn't really involved, the new connections that were being made, the new people that were being drawn in, the way the group took its time working together, lots of consultation. Nice to have the support from the folks in the province. Are there other things that you would name as successes from Sustainable Brandon the last couple of years?
One thing is success. We realize as we were talking about this, that sometimes successes are measured in terms of what happens, and sometimes successes are measured in terms of what doesn't happen. And one of the things that hasn't happened is the Southwest development that has been on the books for quite a while and is sort of slowly moving forward. We noticed, hey, like there's a 90-acre wetland on that parcel down there, and we had a concern that it's possible that may have been infringed upon. And so there were some folks in the group who were especially concerned with water quality and water preservation issues that said, hey, maybe we better be involved in the conversation to make sure that somehow safeguards for that don't get somehow fall through the cracks. And so we've spoken with council and we've spoken with other folks in the city about that, and we're able to make it known that folks were paying attention to that folks were really concerned about that, and sort of strengthen resolve at various levels within the city that this is an important issue that really needs to be taken care of. And so as a result, plans for the wetland have been under review, and at this point we're not seeing any sign that there's alarming stuff going to happen about that. So we're encouraged, and we're also vigilant in an ongoing basis about that.
Yeah, so that really speaks to the importance of community engagement on some of these things, right? Because that area had, my understanding, I don't know what the right language is, but it had some protection, right? But then we learned that, well, how that protection happens may look different, right? I mean, it's so...
Yeah, it looked like the developer's plan might not have been respecting all of the safeguards that were supposed to be there. And so we just, stepped in to make sure that there weren't any shortcuts on that.
And just
not that we know that there would have been. That's why it's always hard to know when something doesn't happen, why it didn't happen. But our voice was heard, and we think possibly might have been part of the mix.
And just to be clear, we are not against development. We want to protect and we want to develop in the very best way that protects our earth and our atmosphere and all the systems. We want to protect all of that. And so it's not anti-development, it's just, okay, we have a marsh. How do we work around that? We want to keep that marsh. It's an important part of the infrastructure. It's the way that water will stay out of basements that'll go to the marsh, right? So yeah, we just want to be sure everybody understands that.
And I thought it was great that there were members of the group that really kind of took that on, right? That was an area of interest for them.
Well, and that's what we try to do in Sustainable Brandon. Not everybody is involved in the water, and not everybody is involved in talking to the city officials or councilors or whatever it is we're doing. You find your own passion, and I don't know if you remember, last month I talked about the climate then, where you find what's your joy, what needs to be done, and what are you good at, and that's what you should be working toward. And climate is fabulous in that respect because it touches everything. It touches our energy system, our transportation system, no matter what, food systems, everything, it touches everything. So no matter what you're passionate about, there is a way to look at it through a climate lens. and to say what this project that thinking of being involved in, how does climate affect it? How do we affect the climate? And how can we ensure that in the end it's a better future for everybody rather than, yeah.
Yeah, and as we think about the future, one of the things I was interested in hearing from you is what you're hearing from the young adults that have served with the group. Because we're primarily an older population, so we don't always hear those voices unless we have children or grandchildren that we're talking to specifically about climate action. So what can you tell us about what they're thinking, what they're concerned about, what they're most interested in being active in?
Well, I hesitate to say what they're thinking because I to speak for them, but
I often ask myself, so what the heck are they thinking? Young folks these days.
Sustainable, Brandon, is actually the paid membership is almost exactly half people under 40 and half people over 40. And really, well, anyway, so it is an interesting mix, and I think it's been a really good mix. I think the concerns of young people are exactly the same as the concerns for us seniors. I think the interests may vary a bit, but that's good. That's what we want, because that's how then we can address more things as opposed to just the research and the sort of actions that the advocacy and education that the senior folk tend to be more interested in. They're more interested in doing something, and that's why really they have taken the Earth Day things and just run with it. And for the most part, I hardly knew what was happening unless I saw the thing on Facebook, because that's what they're doing. I think one thing that we have to remember, and try to remember that often, is that our concerns are similar, but I think the urgency of the concern is quite different. Because for me, I am worrying about my kids and my grandkids. They are worrying about them, right? And I think that is really different. And I think that we've seen some studies that have shown that the anxiety, the eco-anxiety among the folks, between young people between 18 and 25 is very strong. And I think we're seeing that when we notice that more and more young people are deciding not to have children.
Right. Yeah.
And that, I think that speaks volumes. And so I try to keep that in mind, and we work really intentionally at trying to hear what they think is most urgent and most important to do at this time.
Yeah, I think that maybe the most important thing about what young people are thinking is sort of a sense that they're thinking that older people are not doing enough, right?
Right.
The people who have structured the world for us and are supposed to be caring about us are dropping the ball, right? And the people in the group are not blaming or accusatory about that, but there is a sense that really the urgency isn't there in the older generation.
Right. Well, I think that brings us to the end of our time. It always goes so quick. I have other questions that I wanted to ask you, but I think it's important for folks to know that whether or not they've participated in the past, there's still an opportunity to get involved. They can reach out to the two of you. Debbie Dandy's part of that group. Patty's part of that group. Betty's part of the group.
Wayne Clayton is part of the group.
Wayne, yep. So, if folks are looking for more information or ways to get involved, we would just encourage you to contact any of those folks and be part of this local movement.
Can I just say one more thing? Because I think this is really important. I think one of the questions that Craig had asked me that we had possibly going to discuss, and we haven't, but I really think it's important. He wanted to know what I have learned in the last 2 years. And I think this is a really important learning. I have learned that there are more people who care about this than you think. And that by just talking with your neighbors, your friends, your colleagues, your family, you will find out there are more people who are concerned and want to do things. And that includes your city officials,
Exactly.
your city councilors, your
Administrators.
MLAs, your MPs. They really, they do those jobs because they care.
Right.
And I think it's important to not go, oh, well, yeah, but the city, they don't care, because I think that's wrong. I think that's very wrong.
Yeah, they need your support. They need to hear your voice to encourage them and to bolster their efforts to move forward in the area of climate and environment.
That's a good word to end on, and it just makes me so grateful for the information that you've been giving us for, 2 years now in the Just a Green Minutes, because you're always offering us practical ways. Has it been 4 years now that we've been doing Just a Green Minutes?
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. Came out of our strategic plan, right? You asked, the community asked for those to be happening on a regular basis each month. So we're so grateful for that. And I think it really gives us a sense of hope as we seek to respond to all of the changes that are going around us, and hopefully with some sense of urgency. Well, we are going to transition now from this conversation to singing, something else the two of you love to do so much. We're going to join in singing the Song of Sanctuary. So let's join in song, and let's rise in body and spirit as we sing.
You
You may be seated. As we join together in the prayers of the people, just want to name for you the death of Cheryl Errol this past week. Cheryl was a longtime member here at Knox and moved to Selkirk, I think around 2014. Very active in our Busy Hands quilting group. And so we're thinking of her family. I haven't heard an announcement about a service yet, but we'll certainly let you know when that information is available. Sharon, have you heard? This coming Saturday? At 1 o'clock. And is it going to be live streamed? Is it going to be live streamed? Okay. So we'll have that information for you. I'll maybe put out a special email bulletin for those that would like to join in the live stream as we celebrate Cheryl's life. Let us join together in prayer. Everywhere is the green of new growth, the amazing sight of the renewal of the earth. We watch grass once again emerging. We notice the bright green atop the dark green of the pine, the fir, the hemlock, the spruce, the cedar. The old plum trees will blossom, leaf, and give forth fruit. Everywhere and always these days, the song of birds. Bees flying over fields, raccoons prowling at nightfall, the earthworm tunneling the garden, chickens and rabbits pecking and nibbling, goats tugging to reach new delights. All are the ubiquitous energies of life. Holy One, may we today be touched by grace, fascinated and moved by Mother Earth, energized by the power of new growth at work. May we move beyond viewing this life only through a frame, but touch it and be touched by it, know it and be known by it, love it and be loved by it. May our bodies, our minds, our spirits learn a new rhythm paced by the rhythmic pulse of earth. May spring come to us, be in us, and recreate life in us. May we forge a new relationship with nature, knowing that we are nature. We are one, we are not apart. And may we discover a new affinity with beauty and with life, present in all of the earth. In the name of Christ our way we pray. Amen. Now let us join together in our song for the journey, We Cannot Own the Sunlit Sky, number 143 in more voices. And let's rise in body and spirit as we join in song. may be seated. I'm going to invite Catherine to come on up, and Bernie, be ready with a mic. Some announcements that we just want to bring to your attention real quickly because it's in the email news. We'd love to have you join us on May the 2nd for talking with our neighbors. We've invited folks from United Churches all across southwestern Manitoba to be with us that day. That's May the 2nd from 10 to 3:30 here at Knox. So come and join us. Make note that we'll have a congregational meeting on Sunday, May 5th. We'll have an abbreviated gathering that day, and then we'll move into that meeting. We'll have a report from the nominations committee and a financial report, and that will be part of our time together here in the sanctuary. All right, Bernie, or Catherine, you're at the mic. Go ahead.
There was a friendly wager going on between one of the stewardship committee members and one of the indoor garage sale committee members to see which fundraiser raised more funds. So I have one last trivia question for you. Which of the two most recent fundraisers at Knox earned more money? That is wrong. So the Stewardship Committee would like to thank all of the members of this church community that we have for their support in helping us raise $2,525. But I also want to say that the night of the trivia, more than one team came to me and said, "Oh, if only we had had Todd." Thank you.
Well, Catherine, I think we're going to have to invite you back next Sunday because we're going to have another wager, and because we have another fundraiser coming tonight. And it's quite possible that this group could be the winners. Anyway, tonight at 7 o'clock right here at Knox, our music team is presenting our spring concert, Colors. We have some wonderful guest artists. Our very own favorite Edna Knox will be here. She is, you bet. We have a father and son professor of piano from Brandon University here, Daniel and Alexander Selyukov. And we have a graduate student of piano, Wanting Ren, will be also here. And all of this fine group of people will also be here. So last week, you'll recall that I gave you 3 options to be involved. I don't see that many of you came to join the choir, so that leaves you with 2 other choices. One is to show up, and you know that the other part was the checkbook, right? So anyway, it is free admission, but it's also a free will offering, so you know what that means. So we do have a few details to work out yet. Edna's here, and we have one little piece that we have to work things out with. And who knows, we might not do a perfect job, but if we don't, whatever we do, we're going to be doing it with a smile. So please come and join us tonight at 7 o'clock right here at Knox for a great evening of very familiar music to you. So we'll see you later.
Margaret, are you going to be still signing people up in the back? Those that would like to donate camping supplies, Margaret has a list, and she'll meet you in the lobby after the service. If you have children or grandchildren, in Spirit Kids Club, events coming this Friday, game night here for the younger group, grades 3 to 6, and bowling for the older youth, 7 to 12. This coming Friday, information is in your email newsletter, or I'm not sure the youth bowling is in there, so speak to Antoinette if you're interested. Somebody asked me the other day, Craig, 3 fundraisers in April. I said, yeah, I know. I told folks when we looked at the calendar in January, and I said, you know what the problem is? It's our prima donna choir director who requires so much money. That's why we had to commit all of April. So, all right. What was that? You got your income tax money back. There you go. And your carbon tax money. So, well, we certainly do. We never take for granted the many, many ways that our community supports the work and ministry that we have together. And we're so grateful to you for that. Let us rise in body and spirit as we join in our blessing for the journey on this Earth Sunday. My kin, deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. My goodness, deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the gentle night to you. Moon and stars pour their healing light on you. Deep peace of Christ, the light of the world to you. Amen.